Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Yes, my name is Kazia. It's so wonderful to have you here today. Today we have a video much in the style of how I did my new media Let's Play for those who watch my Civilization 5 content. But today we are playing Civilization 7. That's a different game, technically. So, I want to be clear. What are we doing today, right? We are starting this series where I'm going to be playing every leader through relevant civilizations, of course, in order of A to Z, right? So we're starting with Ada Lovelace, and we are going to pick for her the Mayan civilization. I'm not choosing alphabetical civilizations, because that would not be fun. If I had to go through every leader in alphabetical order, and for each leader go through every civilization in alphabetical order, that would be miserable. But I am adjusting the settings right now. You can see what I'm doing in the background. But beyond that, there isn't too much I want to say. Hey, Civilization 7 is actually really improving since its difficulties at launch, and I love the game at this point, right? I've been playing it quite a bit, and you probably noticed I had some experience on my leaders, some levels, which unlocked some additional mementos and such. But Lovelace I have not played before, so we're going to see how she plays. Now, I'm a very generous content creator. As you can see, I cut out the loading screen for you, so you don't have to deal with my loading. That said, you do have to deal with me opening the menu to save, because otherwise you wouldn't have seen me settle the city of Bach. I have no clue if I'm pronouncing that correct. I don't speak Mayan. That's probably something I should learn, honestly, as an Indigenous American anthropology student. But I'm not Indigenous American. I study Indigenous America, right? It's sort of my expertise. But regardless, we started as the Maya because Ada Lovelace is a science leader, science and culture, really. And the Maya get some really strong bonuses to science. So, simply put, I chose the Maya. I will generally, I do make use of mementos during the series. I don't know if I don't know what the other YouTubers do, but I'm doing this for fun. So it's whatever. I think the mementos are part of the game. I think I should show them off. Some people might consider them like cheating. I don't give a shit. If I cheated, you know, which I don't try to cheat, usually, that is, if it's for the good of the content, I will cheat, but I don't cheat in this series, right? Unless you count mementos, is what I'm saying. I'm tripping over my words a lot. But what I'm trying to say is mementos are good. Probably one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies. I don't. What the fuck am I saying? Wait, was that Christopher Nolan? Hold up. I'm gonna have to check real quick. Let me pause the narration for a moment. I'm gonna have to check whether Memento was directed by Christopher Nolan, because I might be fucking up. I might. So, I went on a 5-hour Wikipedia deep dive just to do some research, right, to get a solid answer. Did Christopher Nolan direct Memento? And what I have found, Christopher Nolan had a brother? What the fuck? Like, he did direct Memento, don't get me wrong, but he had a brother who wrote a short story, right? And that short story is the basis for Memento. So, what the fuck? He had a brother this entire time that is also really talented. Jesus Christ. Well, at least let's talk about someone where there's no other talents in her. No. Ada Lovelace, right? I am actually astonished by their choice of Ada Lovelace, because I think it's a really fun choice. I'm sure there's some other people who are like, oh, why Ada Lovelace? You know, she worked on the Babbage analytical engine, but she's not really that notable. And to that I say, fuck you, Parrish. I do not give a shit about your opinions. They are bad, and you should feel bad for having them. But anyways, more seriously, what I mean to say, Ada Lovelace is incredible. Oh, she is the daughter of the famous Lord Byron, who gives his name to Byronic heroes and inspired figures such as Frankenstein and Dracula. So, that's her father, right? And the story notably goes that Ada Lovelace was taught computer science and mathematics in order for her not to grow up like her father. And you know what she did? She ended up being a computer scientist, and she grew up to be exactly like her father. She grew up to... because her father, Lord Byron, was a notable playboy. And supposedly, Ada Lovelace was also kinda a playgirl, let's say. I don't know if that's true, but that's the story I've heard. Ada Lovelace is one of my favorite computer scientists. Yes, there are other great choices for a different English or British leader. Who fucking cares? It's Ada Lovelace. That's dope as fuck. We also did need a good, like, science leader, and I think they chose a tremendous option. Right? Like, sure, we could have gotten, what, Newton? You gonna turn apples into a luxury resource? Is that what you want? Fuck you. No. We got Lovelace, and I like Lovelace. Right, I also do I do a little coding. You know, I might have done some SQL, Lua, and some C++, C#, Python, JavaScript. No, I'm just listing out languages that I've very briefly practiced, but I mainly do SQL, or SQL, and Lua, right? These are two functionally completely different languages. And I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, because I've had other modders get mad at me for not being a professional programmer and messing up some of my explanations when giving tutorials. Now, regardless, Civilization 7. Civilization 7 is a game. I don't want to say it's a great game, right? I think it's incredible for a $40 game. But the truth is, the game is not worth $40. The game is worth $80. And it's on sale, 40% off, and it's still more than $40. That's insane. I got it first day one with the DLC and such, just so I could get Tecumseh, because that's what sold me on the game. Right? Like I said, I'm a Native American Studies anthropology student. And seeing Tecumseh featured in Civilization officially, that's dope as fuck. And the Shawnee tribe actually worked on the Shawnee civilization that came with Tecumseh. That's dope as fuck. Regardless, at launch it was not a great game. Now I feel a little more confident in recommending it. But I also want to point out, it's $80 fucking. Now, if you cannot afford $80 for Civilization 7, a video game that has no bearing on your real life for most people, I'm sure Ed Beach probably feels differently. I will say, you probably could spend that money on groceries. You could spend that money on taxes. you could pay bills. Probably don't need Civilization 7. So what I'm going to recommend is a game called Mugenics by Edwin McMillan, who created The Binding of Isaac. I love Mugenics, right? This is not related to the gameplay at all. We did meet Rome, but yeah, Augustus Caesar leading Rome. Wait, hold the fuck up. Zoom in, enhance. I can't enhance right now. I'm just recording the audio, but I know that's Egypt. He's not Rome at all. Who the fuck is this piece of shit? Get him out of here. Right? We're dealing with some independent powers. I did sort of brush over a lot of the gameplay very early on, because to me, Civilization 7 does not differ too much from Civilization 5's gameplay in the beginning. You want to rush writing and... Okay, no. There's a lot of differences in gameplay. Hey, like where to settle, what sort of units you want to train, right? Typically, you want to go for a lot of scouts, explore the map, settle a lot of cities, all that. But to me, I think Civ 7 is just... It's sort of like a hybrid of Civ 5 and Civ 6, except it advances everything that was actually cool and interesting about Civ 6 to a point where it feels fully developed, where Civ 6 did not, because I don't like Civ 6. I'm going to be honest. I fucking hated Civ 6. Okay, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it that much. Civ 6, to me, felt like it had some interesting ideas going for it that went nowhere. But it also had some really good mods, which I didn't play because I wasn't that interested in Civ 6. I just went back to Civ 5. Then Civ 7 came along. And I was like, okay, I'll try it out. I tried it out, enjoyed it for a bit, went back to Civ 5. Then I was like, well, it was early on launch. And on like Civ 6, where I actually invested more time into it later on with the expansions, I was just like, well, they added pirates to the game. Maybe I'll try Civ 7 again. And that hooked me the second time I tried it. I played as Sid Meier, and I picked my beloved Tonga. You probably saw my review of Tonga from Civ 7. That was a really good Civ, I thought. But Tonga with Sid Meier, I played a full game, and this was during a flight back home from, I believe I was visiting family over Christmas break, I believe. I got hooked. I nearly missed my flight because I was so invested in the game. Luckily I did not miss my flight. I'm still alive. I made it all the way home. But yes, it was a great distraction. Especially when you're just trying to waste time on a flight, right? One more turn games, phenomenal for wasting time. Like compared to like story-based games, where I'm like, oh, I pick it up, I play through the story for as much as I can, but it's like a book, you know, eventually you're gonna want to put it down, unless it's like that good. Like, I love Vonnegut, I can pick up his books and never put them down. But with Civ 7 and Civ 5, they have that one more turn aspect that really hooks you. And speaking of one more turn, that's another YouTuber. I'm actually not allowed to mention that name now. I am aware of Drongo, who also does Civilization 7 videos under the name One More Turn. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. That makes me sound like I've got some beef with Drongo, right? I got beef with a guy who's thousands of subscribers more than me. No, that's bullshit. I don't carry beef. Right? I have grudges, sure. Alright, there's some people I'm upset that they've done things, but that's over their actions, not like the person themselves. Right? I do believe people are defined by their actions, but I also don't believe in permanence, right? You can inflict trauma on people, well, and that can be something they will never forgive you for. But I also don't think that reflects who you are as a person. And that's something a lot of people need to learn, right? People make mistakes. People fuck up, and it hurts others. And I'm not saying, oh, you know, you're a perfectly good person if you change your ways or you feel bad about how. No. If you actively pursue to be a better person, if you try to make amends, whether it works or not, and, you know, well, if you're able to just recognize, you know, you can't change the past, but you can move forward, yeah, I will give people the benefit of that, and say, hey, you know, you can do better. It doesn't mean you get a second chance always, but you can do better. And I think that's wise, right? I'm not saying I'm wise, don't get me wrong. I'm saying to survive in the world, you gotta learn you will make permanent mistakes. They don't define you, but you've got to learn how to move forward from those mistakes. God knows I've made plenty of mistakes. And I feel we are settling a second city, but like it's, well, a second settlement, right? This is something different. You settle towns first off, and towns cannot produce anything. They have yields, but they don't have production for units, buildings, anything like that until you upgrade them to a city. So that is very fascinating for Civ 7, right? That's a huge difference from Civ 5. I actually sort of explored that concept in a mod I had called, what was it called? I think it was called Frontier Towns. I had it in this AI game that was pretty big at the time called, not the great games, the Civ Grand Royale, based on the Civ Battle Royale, and that served as an inspiration for the Civ, the great game as well, right? And that was fun. What was I saying? Yes. Mistakes, right? I've made mistakes. And I want to be clear about this, you know? I have hurt people. I've asked for forgiveness. I've tried to make amends whatever way I can. They might not ever forgive me. And you know what I have to say? I don't care. Right? But sure. I wish they'd forgive me. And perhaps sometimes, yeah, it really does sting. But that doesn't define who I am now. You know what defines who I am now? This channel, right? This right here. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm trying to do to better myself. This is sort of like a therapeutic YouTube channel, in a way. And I think there is just more, even this, that defines me, right? But I don't go bragging about the good things I do. Like, sure, I care for my YouTube channel, but this isn't like a moral or ethical good. This is something fun I do that I think encompasses part of who I am, right? I don't think I necessarily even do that much good or bring that much good to the world. I'm gonna be honest. I wish I did more, but I also am one person. I don't have that much power in the world. You might have noticed I don't have that many subscribers. I'm not that rich. But I do what I can. And I think at the end of the day, that's all you can do. That's all you need to do. And that's what matters. I'm getting way too fucking deep into the Civ 7 in video. You know, this is why I love the channel. I get to... I don't exactly work on this channel as like a comedic exercise. Rather, I work on it as sort of like this exercise in what will I explore today? Right? We are almost at the end of the video, for instance. So, what I would like you to explore today is my channel. If you like the content you see, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Now, my name is Kazia. Thank you so much for joining me today. And for what it's worth, I think you're all very lovely people, regardless of the mistakes you've made. With all that out of the way, my name is Kazia. Have a wonderful day. Signing off. Bye-bye.